Good morning or afternoon or evening, depending on where you are and when you're watching this. My name is Nicole Thomas, and I am a program specialist in the STEM division here in Stillwater at Career Tech. I am going to make a quick video to show you how to and where to drop your documentation into our LMS so that when your program is up for evaluation, your specialist knows where to find your information. So the first thing that you need to do is navigate to ctyou.org. So open a browser and type that in. If at any point during this video I get to a point where maybe you haven't done something or you can't see what I'm seeing, please feel free to pause the video and take care of whatever you need to do so that you can understand where I'm going and how to access things. So once you get to ctyou.org, you will see a scrolling picture. This picture changes the longer that you're on that screen. And so you'll see a whole bunch of stuff at the top ribbon. If you'll go all the way to the top right, you will click on login and it will take you to our login screen. If you have never been into CTU before, or if you're a brand new teacher, then you need to go to this create a new account and click. It will ask you for just a quick profile setup. When you type in your username, we suggest first name dot last name, because it makes it easier for us to search. It'll ask for an email, and we ask you to use your school email and not a personal email. And then it'll ask you to create a password. So just make sure that you look at the requirements on that. And once you do that and hit submit, it will send an email to you that you will have a link that you click on that verifies that it's really you. And then you'll be able to come back to this screen and enter your username and password and log in. So once you log in, up here in the right-hand corner, you should see your name. And this is the home page. So as you scroll down the page, we are going to go all the way down to the course category of STEM, and we're going to click that. And that will take you to this page. Now, your page might look a little bit different than mine because anything that is in gray is something I can see as the page administrator, but that you can't see on your end. So this is our LMS. Some schools use Google Classroom, some schools use Schoology or Canvas. There are a lot of different LMSs out there. This is just the one that our agency uses. So in this particular system, myself and the other ladies in our office are the teachers, and you guys are our students. And that kind of is how it works. So just to give you an idea of what you're in here for and what we use this for, this is a one-stop shopping place for you guys to find any resources that you need for your classroom. If we create something for you to use, this is where we're going to house it. If there's ever anything that you use that you think is fabulous that you want to share with us, then we can house it here so that all of our Career Tech teachers in Oklahoma have access to it. So that's kind of how we use it. You're going to scroll down until you see STEM Evaluation K12 School District Data. So our K12 school districts are who get evaluated. Tech centers go through a similar process called accreditation. And even though it's similar, it's different enough that they do not have folders in this particular room. So this course name, this room, is just for our K12 schools. So if you click on it, you are going to come to this page. And again, the things that are in gray, you will not see. You will only see these top two. So this first guy is actually the document that we use when we come to your school. I would encourage you to print it off at some point and look over it. It will let you know exactly what we're looking for. It does say 5-year evaluation document at the top because we are looking for information over the past 5 years because our schools get evaluated, or at least they're supposed to get evaluated every 5 years. So we are looking for 5 years worth of documentation just to kind of see how your program has grown over time. Things that have changed, things that have been improvements, things that didn't go maybe a direction you wanted, so you dropped it. We're just looking for the lifeline of your program and kind of the history of it. Underneath that, you will find an evaluation schedule for the next fiscal school year. We are not glued to the dates that you see. So when you open that up, you'll see the school name, the scheduled date, and the specialist that we'll be visiting. And if you open it up and you automatically know that date's not going to work because our school is doing such and such, then please just contact your specialist. We're more than happy to reschedule that. It is not a problem. If you happen to be home with a sick kid, or if you wake up sick yourself, the day of your evaluation, just call into the office as soon as possible, especially if your place is a long drive away, and let us know and we can reschedule that. So all of that is flexible. We are definitely here to make this process as smooth and painless as possible, and so we want to help accommodate in any way that we can. So this top block with the document and the schedule is what will show no matter what page you navigate to from here, it will always start with this block. So you'll just have to scroll down. And I say that because I don't want you to think I clicked on something and I'm seeing the same screen again, so it didn't go anywhere. It did. You just have to scroll down to see the next block. So this block that's labeled standards and resources, I'm not going to take the time to go through it now, but it breaks each standard down by number and gives you templates and directions for the things that are in that standard, just to kind of help you if you need it or if you have any questions. So I'm going to go back up to these 3 horizontal bars and I'm going to click them. And what you should see open up is an alphabet down here. And all of our school districts are alphabetized by district name. So even though you have your own personal folder, your folder is linked to the district that you teach in. So A would be for a school like Ada, B, Bartlesville, and so forth. So I put a sample folder in the A block to show you guys. So I am going to click on the A block there and scroll down. I'll see the letter A right here. And I should be the first one because that's where I moved myself to. So right here, you will see the name of your district. So since we're in the A block, maybe it says Ada or Antlers or Anadarko, something like that. And then you'll see your physical name. So when you click on your folder, what happens is it comes to this screen. And this screen has the 6 standards and their titles, so 1 through 6, and then it has a TSA folder at the bottom. That TSA folder stands for whatever CTSO that your program is involved in. And it technically fits under Standard 2. But the reason that your CTSO has its own folder is because teachers like to drop a lot of pictures in there of their students and their traveling and their competitions and their awards. And that can make folder 2 just really, really thick and big. And so we just made a separate CTSO folder because that helps us keep things a little less colluded. So you will see underneath your folders 2 buttons, a download folder and an edit folder. If you have paused the video and tried to get into your old folder, to your own folder, and you don't see these colored in arrows, that's okay. All those arrows are indicating is that I've actually put something in that folder. So if you don't have anything in that folder, you won't have an arrow, just like this guy right here. So the download folder is what we do when we go to look at all the documentation that you've put in there, and it gives us an easier view of things. The edit folder is what you're going to use to either drop documentation into or take it out of the folders that you have. So I'm going to click that button so you'll see what happens. Okay, you get folder icons within this box right here, and so you just pick a folder that you want. So I'm going to pick folder 3 because it doesn't have anything in it yet. And if the folder's completely empty, you're going to see this blue arrow moving up and down, and it says you can drag and drop files here to add them. CTEU is very user-friendly, which is something that I really like about it. So if you have a double monitor, it will maybe be a little easier for you to see the navigation, but I am not going to use a double monitor right now. So I'm going to clean up my toolbar down here. I'm going to take him off. So what happens, oh, I guess I pinned him. Whoops. What happens when you're down here is that you can split your screen by right-clicking. Unpin, yes, get him out of there. By right-clicking down here, somewhere in the black, come on. I don't need him to move. I need my cursor. There we go. So if you right-click on the black bar at the bottom of your screen, you just have to make sure your mouse isn't over something that's down there. But in this space right here where it says Windows, you can choose any of these options. I'm going to choose Windows side by side. And then you can click up here and drag it over so that you can see all of this stuff that's in your window. So So I'm going to close my alphabet up so that I can see this a little bit better and show you. So anything that is on your computer desktop in any folder, you can take. So here's a math analysis syllabus. I'm just going to click it and drag it. And once it uploads, it'll have a little icon like this. And then you just click Save Changes. And when we go back, now we see that colored in arrow right there. So it is so easy to put things into your folders. It's also really easy to change a folder or take it out. So let's say you put that in folder 3, but you realized it should have gone in folder 5. So if you click Edit and get back into folder 3, anything that's in this block now, if you just click on it, it'll come up, and you can do this 2 ways. You can either completely delete it, or you can go down here to the pathway, and this is where it lets us know it's in folder 3. And then if we just click that drop down, we can say, oh, I want to move it to folder 5. That's where we want it. We click the update button, and then we just come down here and we click Save Changes, and now it's moved and it's showing folder 3 empty again. So it's really that easy. The only thing that's a little bit different is if you have things saved in your Google Drive and you want to put them in CTU, you can do that. However, you have to download the item first. So if you're familiar with Google Drive, for those of you that use it, you will be, when you click download something on Google Drive, you get a little square down here in the bottom left that lets you know it's downloaded. Once you see the square, you can click and drag it from there. You can also download it to your download it and save it to your desktop, and then just drag it over from your desktop. So either of those options is fine. I just wanted to mention that if you are at Google Classroom School, you can't take it from the Google Classroom and drag it to that CTU block. It has to be downloaded first. So I hope that has helped you know how to find your folder in there and how to put things into it and take things out of it. And I just want to let you know that we are here to make this process as smooth and as easy as possible. So if at any point you have questions, if you click on something and it's not working the way you think it should, it might not be you. It might be that our system's down, or that it's, because sometimes it'll happen for maintenance, or it could be that we haven't put your information into the system yet and you're trying to find your name and your name doesn't exist. So even though we try very hard to keep up with all of that, there can be holes that exist. So don't ever be afraid to reach out to your specialist. We are here to help you. And it's actually one of the favorite parts of our job. I love helping teachers. I love getting in their classrooms. You guys are doing amazing things, and we just want to see it. And we're just so excited every year that we get to go into all these different classrooms, because I think it's safe to say for all of the specialists in the room that we just love what we see. And it makes us miss being in the classroom, because that's where we all came from. So it's our joy to help you. Don't be afraid to reach out to us. And I hope that this video has answered the navigation questions that might come up. Have a wonderful day.